Hi everyone, Chrissy here today, and I'm excited to share these cards with you. I made one off camera, and we're going to make the next one together on camera. I am using product from Reverse Confetti. We are collaborating with them here at ThermOWeb. So I'm going to pair some of their stamps along with some of our flock. The first thing that I did, and I did this off camera, is I stamped this beautiful stamp set onto a piece of craft cardstock using watercolor ink, and then I heat embossed it with white embossing powder. This stamp set is called The Best Days, and like I said, it's from Reverse Confetti, and the sentiment is also from the same stamp set. Now, the other card that I created off camera, I used a sentiment called Beautiful Memories, which is also from Reverse Confetti, and I will show that again at the end of the video so you can see both of them together with the two different sentiments. So I stamped this sentiment in some black ink. I really wanted to make sure it kind of showed up and stood out on that card a little bit. And so now I'm going to show my process of how I color in cards on craft cardstock. So depending on the colored pencils that you have, these are really high-end, nice colored pencils, so I don't have to put a white color underneath. Sometimes certain colored pencils you might need to, sometimes you might not. Also, you have the option of just pressing really hard. So if you want to add the white underneath, sometimes it also helps, which I do sometimes with these, even though these are really nice. Because it does kind of help the color pop out a little bit. But since I'm pressing hard and I'm also making sure to use some of the bright colors, so you see I have a lot of yellows on here, everything does really show up. So what I was doing, I was trying to match basically the main colors in the flowers to the cardstock that I was using. So I'm using some GINA cardstock as my card base. So for this particular card, I wanted to use a lot of purple. The other card I did off camera, I used a lot of pinks because I was matching a different color GINA cardstock. So like I said, you just kind of press hard, and then they do blend. You can see that I have the yellow kind of blending there with the purples, so they do blend. Now, the other nice thing is if you make some mistakes, if it's not perfect, it's not nearly as noticeable as it is on white cardstock, so this is a lot more forgiving, and I think it just looks really cool. I love the craft with the colored pencil look. So then my last step in coloring was I really wanted to make this image stand out a little bit. So I took a gray alcohol marker and I just traced around the edges of what had been heat embossed in the white. The gray just kind of makes that white embossed image pop out more, and it just kind of almost adds like a 3D effect. So it's just a really simple step to remember, something that you can do just to kind of give your card that extra oomph that you might need, but it literally takes like 30 seconds to do. So then next I wanted to go ahead and assemble my card. So I am just using my XL memory tape runner from ThermOWeb. I'm not using foam, which is really kind of not normal for me. I'm just using a regular tape runner. Usually I combine both. I'm always using both of them together. So now I am using my DecoFoil adhesive pen. So this thing is awesome because you can just kind of tap on there anywhere you want. And once it dries, you can add flock and you can add foil and all kinds of fun things to your cards. But the most important thing to remember is that you have to let this pen dry. The glue has to be 100% dry before you try to press any foil or flock on it, otherwise it's not going to work. So in the video, I kind of did this backwards. I probably should have waited. But I ended up adding some Nouveau drops to this card instead of like sequins or enamel dots or anything else. This is kind of a subtle color, so I just thought it would be a nice little effect to add here. So as I said, I probably should have waited until after I added the flock because then these were wet, and so I had to get creative adding my flock. But you can see all my mistakes and how I work through them, so we can work through them together. So because they were wet, I cut my flock into small pieces when I decided to press it on here. So that was my brainstorm of the day because I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? So you can see I'm just pushing it on. Now I pushed it on a couple times just to make sure I've got everything, that it's not sticky anymore. But it's really cool because now that the adhesive pen is dry, it's just pulling the flock off of that sheet. So now all of my leaves and everything are fuzzy. So it is kind of hard to see on camera. Hopefully you can see it in my pictures. But if you're going to give this card to someone, they're going to touch it and be like, oh, look, it's all fuzzy. And it's just really cool. It's a fun effect, and people wonder how the heck you did it, and it is so incredibly simple. So here's both cards, the one we just made, and then here's the other two. So thanks so much for stopping by today. I hope you have a great day.